going on here. And I think, the sort of metaphorical, mystical, sort of the depth dimensions of what goes on when you're sort of like opening a portal to another realm that you've never seen and you could not exist in there, and yet with your line you're searching for life beyond. This is a mystical thing, right? It's sort of like the radio telescopes in New Mexico, except they're pointed up instead of down. But it's really the same thing, don't you think? So my songs are sort of that for me. I love the songs that give me this portal, give me this little window into sort of feeling life being more sort of interesting and deep and high and sort of like feeling into the unseen. And I know that this is not the kind of stuff that you can capture in words, but there's something about when you get that little tug on the line and you sort of know that there's something there. And in the process of writing the song, it is sometimes possible to reel it in. And, it's always sort of smaller than you hoped it would be. That's the way it is with every song. When you finally get it up there and see it in the daylight, it's like, oh, well, it's just that. It's just a song. It's 3 verses and a chorus. It has some chords. But when it was still sort of like on the hook but not visible yet, you always have this feeling like, this is like the Loch Ness Monster. This is something that no one has seen before. You bring it into the world and it's going to change everything, So I still believe this about every new song that I write. And it is remarkable how, it still is so satisfying for me to just like wake up every morning and show up in that quiet place. I have this little studio and I just go in there and I play the guitar. It still feels like stolen time. It still feels like I should be doing something. And I'm just playing the guitar and I have an empty page in front of me. And the quiet and the empty page is my way of saying to my heart and maybe to, what's beyond the portal, I just am saying, can you give me a hint? Is there something that I should know that I don't know? Is there something that would kind of make life more interesting and open it up? And that's my practice, to show up to the empty page and say, is there something I should know? And there's a song that I love because it is kind of the story of the perpetual disappointment and yet the continued love. And it's like when you say to a songwriter who's been working all morning, since I get up really early, like 4:30. It's really odd, but I just pop awake with this little idea in my head. If I go back to sleep thinking, well, I'll just sleep till 7, I'll do this in the morning. It's not there in the morning. I walk into the studio and it said, where were you? We were here at 4:30. The muse is long gone. It's in a whole nother time zone. So I have this, sometimes when after hours of working on a song, somebody will say, so what you been doing? Oh, I've been songwriting, well, let me hear it. Oh, well, I don't have anything. It's sort of like, sometimes you're catching fish and sometimes you're just fishing. But this song cracks me up because it is sort of documenting the perpetual disappointment, and I tell it in kind of an exaggerated story form. I'm going to find this tuning eventually. Here it is. Yeah. So I describe it by exaggerating as if I somehow accidentally wrote this piece of paper that wrote this little bit of lyric that stayed as good as I thought it was. This is a sort of a fantasy. This is like what I feel every time when I'm halfway, reeling it in, when I haven't seen it yet, but I know there's something there. And I think, oh God, this is the best song ever. This is going to change me. I'm going to be happy for the rest of my life because of this song. I truly believe this. Otherwise, I would never write another one. So this is about, like, I've got it. And then, of course, in my sort of fantastical description of this, it sort of blows out of my hand and drifts across the desert sand and is lost forever. But this is my feeling of what it's like to write every song.